Hey guys, it's Chelsea. I just thought I'd send you kind of a little video update of what I've been up to and what the Lord has been teaching me this past year. I have been so bad at updating you guys, so at least by this kind of way. So the last time I posted a video was over a year ago. Oh man. But yeah, just thought I'd give you guys kind of a really brief kind of update of what God has been teaching me this past year. So I came home from Kona the end of 2012. It's 2014 now, and yeah, but I kind of came home with the idea that I was going back. And one of the things that the Lord had told me and that other people were telling me, and they had like peace about the fact that I was going, was that I was supposed to be home for a season. And as kind of crazy as what was happening in my life at that point, I knew it was God. So I was like, okay, I don't want to go home, but I'm going to work my butt off for 2 months or however long, and I'm going back to Kona. And that did not happen, obviously. Here I am in Alberta in Sylvan Lake. But it was kind of like the Lord, when I got home, brought me through a process. Like, it was really kind of a scary time for me spiritually, because I didn't know what was next, and I had so gotten used to a kind of life of just running after the next thing and doing it and running and constantly just knowing what was next. Like, even if I didn't know, I knew. Like, and that kind of life of just always working and pushing for the next thing really wore on me. And I'm going to try and make this quick, but the computer that I'm using, it doesn't show me how long I've been talking for, which that could be dangerous. But I'm just going as fast as I can. Just got home from church, and but yeah, I got home and the Lord just really started asking me. He's like, "Do you trust me?" I said, "Yeah, I trust you." What do you mean I don't trust you? I've followed you to the nations, Jesus. What do you want? And just, I realized that there was big areas that I had been hiding from the Lord and just shutting him out and didn't want him involved. And at that point I kind of realized that I was just really spiritually complacent, like living in Blackfield. I just didn't care. I wanted a lot more of Jesus, but it was really hard, like just spiritually living with my parents and just being around something that was familiar to me. And then around in about March, God kind of started. I like had a divine appointment, and I was like, "What do you think about moving to Sylvan Lake?" And I was just like, all that was in my mind at the point is like, moving to Sylvan Lake would be really scary. But I was like, yes, I want to do something drastic. And then so a couple of weeks later, I decided, I'm like, okay, I'm really considering this. I'm praying about it, and I have peace about it. I'm like, because at that point it meant that I would be leaving YWAM for at least a while, and because that was all I knew since graduating, it was very scary to me. And I've like had so many good memories in being with the YWAM, but it was just God was bringing me into something different, and it didn't look like the status quo. So see what I did there? But yeah, it was just God was bringing me to something new, and I needed to be challenged and stretched. But like with that came so much opposition. Like I remember I was really nervous to talk to my parents about it, and then when I did, my stepmom said to me, she's like, "I already knew. Lord told me it would be soon." I was like, "How did they know?" And just it was very challenging. Like, there was a couple things that came up that delayed my move a little bit. But it was just, even though there was like kind of my own anxieties with it, like I'm living on my own, what am I going to do type thing, like it was a good transition to like being here, and now I'm living on my own, and another thing the Lord said at the beginning of last year, I had known about a program here in Sylvan Lake that a good friend of mine, TJ Green, runs, called the Daniel Company. And I've known about it for a while, and in the past I had actually considered doing it just after my DTS, and now I was like, I don't need more training, I don't want to do this. And the Lord asked me, he's like, will you do it? And I was just like, no, God. And he's like, you are not going to have to worry about the money. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And at that point, I was I had a lot of thoughts of like what the Lord should be doing with whatever season of my life. And obviously, one of the things that I've learned the most this year is just really surrendering control to God when things don't make sense. And I think the most important thing I learned in the Daniel Company was really just to value his presence. And I've never had like the privilege of really being in areas before, like other than when I've been in YWAM, where the Holy Spirit is something that we need. And I remember even before going to Kona, I maybe knew a little bit, but I had no idea how much the Lord is involved in just everything, and just how big the Holy Spirit needs to play a role in our lives. And yeah, it's definitely changed me a lot, because I've like learned, and I realized I discern things. I'm a discerner, like I'm prophetic. This explains so much of my life. And it's like how, say, someone who's an evangelist, they go through a lot of like dealing with a lot of lies that they've believed, because the enemy has made them want to believe it's like you don't have a voice. And we need to learn about the truth of who God says he is and what he says about us. And that's like one of the things. I think last year was one of the most difficult years of my life, just because God was no, Chelsea, but God was dealing with a lot in my heart, and just there was so many times when I could have just felt so oppressed, and there was times that I did, and I definitely just like never backslid, but I was not doing well spiritually. And it's just amazing to me how the Lord knows us, and he knows what we need, and he just constantly is pouring into us. So this video is getting a little long, so I think I'll probably do another video telling you guys what I'm doing now, or I'll just tell you the short version in case I don't get around to it. But I'm now living in Sylvan Lake. I'm renting a basement suite, and I'm living on my own, and it's really awesome to just have my own space. And it's funny how God knows what we need, like even just the favor of God giving me this place to live. I know it's him, because after the internship was done, I had no money. Didn't even have more than like $10 at any given time, like during the whole internship. And I was just really trusting the Lord, because I knew that he told me that I was supposed to be getting trained again for whatever reason. And it was good. It was just a really good season, and now there's another internship going on, but I'm not involved in the leadership, but I'm involved in the internship, if that makes sense. Like, I don't have a leadership role, but our church really encourages people who've done the internship to just mentor the new interns. So that's kind of what I'm doing now. I'm kind of just figuring out what it means to be a missionary here in Sylvan Lake, because God has called me to come here. So yeah, if you guys have any more questions, just please email me. Check out my blog. I'm going to be working on posting on there more. I haven't really been on there the last year just with things going on, but I really hope you guys are blessed. I just wanted to say thank you for all of your support these last years, and all the prayer covering that you guys gave me when I was in YWAM and even now, and I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys are super blessed.